Hello children, welcome to Math Part. Today we are going to solve MCQs of Chapter 2 Compound Interest without using formula. It is all 2A, B, C, all the three exercises, MCQs, all questions are going to be solved here. So after going to this video, if you like it, please share with your friends, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. So we start with exercise 2A. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. For a particular year, the simple interest at 10% is rupees 800. The compound interest for the next year at the same rate. So if the simple interest is 800, let us find the principal, which is simple interest into 100 upon R into T. So 800 times 100 upon rate of interest is 10% into 1. So the principal is rupees 8,000. And for the same amount, we need to find the compound interest for the next year. For the next year, the principal becomes the amount. So principal for second year, it becomes 8,000 plus 800, which is 8,800. Now we calculate interest for second year, which is on the amount 8,800 times 10 into for 1 year we are calculating upon 100. So which is rupees 880. 88 times 10. The first option is the correct option. B, the compound interest on rupees 5,000 at 10% per annum and in 6 months. So compound interest for first year, actually the simple interest and compound interest remains the same. So we use the simple interest formula, which is principal into rate into time, which is 6 months, which goes to half year, and upon 100. So which we get as 2 5s are 10, 5 5s are 25, rupees 250. See the compound interest on rupees 5,000 at 10% per annum and in 1 year compounded half yearly. So for half yearly we have formula A is equal to P bracket 1 plus R upon 200 raised to 2n. So let us find the amount first. So A is equal to principal is 5,000. The rate of interest is 10%. So 1 plus 10 upon 200 raised to per annum for 1 year. So 2 times 1 here, n is equal to 1. So 2 times 1, therefore it is 2. Simplifying this, you get 5,000. 20 is the LCM, 20 plus 1, 21 upon 20. Since the power is 2, so multiplying twice. Let us simplify. So we get 2 and then 25. 12.5. Now 21 times 21 is 441 and 441 multiplied by 12.5. You get this as 5,512.5. Okay. The amount compound interest on 5,000 at 10% per annum in 1 year compounded half yearly. So we are asked to find the compound interest. So this is the 512.50. The third option is the correct option. D. The sum of rupees 20,000 is lent at 12% compound interest compounded yearly. The compound interest occurred in the second year. In the second year, what will be the compound interest? So first of all, for first year, let us find the simple interest. So for simple interest on 20,000, rate of interest is 12% for 1 year upon 100, which we get it as 12 times 2 is 24 is 20,000. So it is 22,400. So 2,400 is the simple interest. For the second, since we have to find the compound interest, the amount at the end of first year becomes the principal for the second year. So we add 20,000 to this. So we get this as 22,400 becomes the principal. So the compound interest for the second year is 22,400. Rate of interest is 12% for second year. So that 1 year particular we are calculating. So which we get it as 224 into 12, which we get as 2688. So 2688 is the compound interest for the second year because they have asked only for the second year. So compound interest for the second year is rupees 2688. So option 3 is the correct option. B part, during the year 2022, the interest occurred at the rate of 5% is 1250. The compound interest occurred at the same rate during the year 2023 will be what? So 1250 is the interest occurred, which is equal to principal into rate into time, which is 1 year upon 100. So we get that principal is equal to 1 to 5 ones and 5 twenties is 1250 times 20, which is 25,000 is the principal. Now this 25,000 was the principal at the beginning of 2022. The compound interest occurred at the same rate during the year 2023. So the principal for the second year, we add interest to this 1250. So we get this as 26250 becomes the principal for the second year. So we have 26250, the principal, multiplied by the rate, which is 5%, into time, which is 1 year upon 100, which we get as 5 ones and then 5 twos. Half of this goes 1312.50. So 1312.50 is the compound interest occurred at the same rate during the year 2023. The last MCQ of 2A, rate of interest for 2 consecutive years are 10% and 12%. The percentage increase during these 2 years is. So what is the percentage increase during these 2 years? Okay, we don't know anything about the principal, anything about the amount over here. So let us say that initial value was rupees 100. Please focus because I'm not writing all the steps since this is MCQ. So let us take the initial value was rupees 100. Then since it is 10% for the first year, so for the first year, the amount after 1 year is going to be 10%, so 10 rupees more, it is going to be 110. After second year, this is going to be the amount. So for second year, it is 110 times 12 into 1 upon 100. So which we get it as 11 times 1.2. We get this as 13.2 is the interest for the second year. So the value after the second year, is going to be 110 plus 113.2, which is 123.20. And you are asked to find the percentage increase. So percentage increase is difference in the values 123.2 minus the original value, which was 100 upon 100 times 100%. So this is 123.2 minus 100. So that is 23.2% was the percentage increase during these 2 years. We start with exercise 2B. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. The difference between compound interest and simple interest in 1 year on 5,000 at a rate of 10% per annum. Remember, simple interest and compound interest remains the same for 1 year since it is 1 year, because for compound interest for the next year the principal changes. So the difference is going to be 0. Rupees 2,000 is saved during the year 2022 and deposited in the bank in the beginning of year 2023 at 8% compound interest. So the interest that we are going to get at the first year is going to be 2,000 into a rate which is 8 times 1 upon 100, which we get it as rupees 160. Now for the second year, 3,000 more is saved and deposited in the same bank. So the total, the amount here, it is going to be 2,000 plus 160, which is going to be 2160, plus 3,000 more is added. So the principal becomes 5160 for the second year, that is 2024. Now we find the compound interest where the principal is now 5160. So 5,160 is the principal into rate, which is 8% per annum, into 1 upon 100, so which we get it as 116 multiplied by 0.8, which we get it as 412.8. So this was for the second year. And now this 412.8, and for the first year it was 160. So the compound interest earned up to the end of 2024 is 160 plus 412.80. So which we get it as 2, 6 plus 1, 7, 5, 4 plus 1, 5. Rupees 572 and 80 paise. Got it? C part, rupees 1000 is borrowed at 10% per annum CI. If 300 is paid at the end of each year, the amount of loan outstanding at the end of second year is. Okay, 1000 is borrowed at 10% per annum. So for first year, you get 1000 into rate of interest is 10% into 1 upon 100. So which we get it as rupees 100 is the interest. So the outstanding amount is going to be 1100. This 1000 plus 100, the interest that we have to pay. Out of this, rupees 300 is repaid. So minus 300. So we get this as 800 rupees is the money that we have to at the end of the second year. After first year, this is the amount left. Now we calculate the interest on this. So 800 into 10 upon 100. So which is rupees 80 more. So rupees 80 more is the interest on this amount. So the amount of loan outstanding at the end of second year is going to be this 800 plus 80, which is the interest. That is rupees 880. Okay. The difference between compound interest and simple interest in 2 years on 4,000 at 10% per annum is. So for 2 years, quickly let us calculate the simple interest. So simple interest is going to be principal into rate into time upon 100. 4 twos are 8 and these two zeros, 800 rupees. And for finding the compound interest, let us find the amount, which is P in bracket 1 plus R by 100 raised to N. So the principal was 4,000. The rate of interest is 10% and the time is 2 years. So 1 plus 10 upon 100 raised to 2, which is 121, and 121 times 40, you get 4840 is the amount. And the interest is going to be, compound interest is going to be 4. This is your amount. The interest is going to be 4,000, which will be subtracted from that, which is 840. And you are asked to find the difference between CI and SI. So difference between 800 and 840 is rupees. This is the correct option. Rupees 10 is the difference between compound interest and simple interest in 2 years and at 5% per annum. The principal amount is. Now, how do we find the compound interest? Let's use the formula here. So we have a compound interest is amount minus principal. So P in bracket 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N minus principal. And simple interest is P into rate into time, PRT by 100. Let us put the values. P is what we have to find out. So P in bracket 1 plus R was 5% upon 100 raised to 2 minus P into rate is 5. Sorry, rate is 5% per annum. The time is 2 years upon 100. And the difference between this is given as rupees 10. So difference between simple interest and compound interest is given as rupees 10. 5 times 20. So 20 plus 1, 21 upon 2. 21 square is 441. 441 P upon 100. 400 to 20 square is 400. Minus P minus 5 twos are 10 P upon 100 is equal to 10. The LCM is 400 here. So 400. So this becomes 441 P. Multiplying by 400 over here, you get this as minus 400p, and here you'll have to multiply by 4 to make denominator 400. 10 times 4 is 40p upon 400 is equal to 10. So 441 minus 400 is 41. 41 minus 40 is p. So we get p upon 400 is equal to 10. So p is equal to 400 times 10, which is rupees 1000. Okay. Let's start with exercise 2C. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. Rupees 300 and rupees 360 are the compound interest for 2 consecutive years. The rate of interest we have to find out. So let us see 300 and it changes to 360. So there is an addition of rupees 60. Now this rupees 60 is increase over 300. So 60 upon 300 times 100% is the increase. So we have 60 by 3, which is 20% increase. Easy. The next, a certain sum of money amounts to rupees 5,000 at the end of fifth year and to 6,000 end of the sixth year. So that means in 1 year, so it was 5,000 and it goes to 6,000. So there is increase of rupees 1,000. So this increase of rupees 1,000 over 5,000 times 100, we get the percentage. So we get 5 times 20. Again, 20% is the correct option. At the end of 2020, the compound interest amounted to rupees 3850. The compound interest amounted to, the amount was 3850. 10% compound interest. The compound interest on the same sum at the end at the same rate amounted at the end of 2019. This is before 1 year. So here what are we finding? We are finding the principal. Okay, we have to actually find the principal and this is your amount. Please read the question carefully. So 3850 is the amount. We need to find the principal which was at the end of 2019. 1 plus R, which is 10% upon 100. Raised to 1 because that was for 1 year. So let us simplify. So we get 3850 is equal to 10 plus 1, 11p by 10. So p is equal to 3850 into 10 upon 11. Dividing 385 by 38500 by 11. 11 threes are 33 and then 5. So 38 minus 3 is 5. So 11 5s are 55. And that is how you get this as 3,500. So 3,500 was the sum at the same rate amounted at the end of 2019. A sum of money lent out at compound interest amount to rupees 4,500 in 6 years if the rate of compound interest is 12%, the same sum of money will amount to what? In 7 years. So that means just 1 year you have to find out. So this is the principal, 4,500 into 1 plus R upon T. So 1 plus 12% is going to be 112 upon 100. For 1 year we are calculating from 6 years to 7th year. Let us simplify. So you get 112 multiplied by 45, you get this as 5040. So option 2, rupees 5040 is the correct answer. For 2 consecutive years, a sum lent out at compound interest earns rupees 600 and 690. Find the rate. So this is a trick always for finding a rate. So difference is 90. So this 90 was over 600 times 100%. So which we get 90 divided by 6 is 15% was the rate of compound interest. The last question of today's video, for 2 consecutive years, the sum of money lent out uh, at compound interest amount to rupees 2,400 and 2,760. The rate of interest is. So for it is for 2 years. So it is 2400 and this was 2760. There is a change of 360 and over 2400. So 360 upon 2400 times 100%. So 12 times 2 and 12 30s and 15% is the correct answer. So children, I hope this video was helpful to you. To understand it much better, you can rewind and watch it again. If I'm going a little fast, you can reduce the speed and watch. If you feel this video was useful, please share with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.